Hello, friends. Welcome to another Fast Break episode. Today is going to be a bit different. I'm not answering 5 questions in 5 minutes, but I am giving my 5 lessons that I learned from education, which I also learned from death. So you hear everything you needed to know you learned in kindergarten. Well, everything I needed to know, I learned from 7th graders. And what didn't kill me made me stronger. It takes a very special person, so I've been told, to last for as long as I did in the middle school setting. If you are a parent and have had to endure your own child making it through the 7th grade years, you know what I'm talking about. That was a hard time for me. So I've kind of always gravitated and had more empathy for students in those age ranges. Here are my 5 lessons from education that I can apply to any aspect of life. Positive, proactive, preventative measures. The more consistent routine, structure, organization that you have, be it for your health, your wellness, your life, the better things are going to go. Rather than reacting and responding, let's be proactive, and then we won't have as much to clean up in the end. Backwards design. All good teaching starts with the end in mind, meaning you know the standards, you know what you want your students to master, and then you work backwards to look at the prerequisite skills, the instructional activities, and the questioning that you're going to need to design a great lesson. That is the same thing for your life. You start with the end in mind. What do you want your life to look like? How will you measure your life? As I have referenced the book of Clayton Christensen. What are those metrics? How do you want your obituary to read? And then you work backwards to design a life to fulfill what you want it to look like. Those small incremental steps, not the big overarching themes. It's the consistent daily activities that ultimately lead to that final goal. Number 3, how do you continue to move forward when times are challenging and difficult? Mindset. Moving out of that negative mindset into a growth mindset, moving from a place of scarcity thinking to abundance thinking. Life is hard. School is hard. We have a lot of challenges in society. But the more resilience, hope, and optimism that we can show, which has been a huge learning lesson for a natural pessimist. I say I'm more of a realist than anything, but the more open to growth and learning, the better our lives will be. Number 4, the ability to modify, adjust, differentiate to meet the very unique needs that are going to show up in life. When we individualize education for students, they prosper. When we individualize how our lives look, we're not following someone else's script, that we're not doing what we were supposed to do or should do or live on autopilot, but have a life designed that meets our unique needs, then we are more fulfilled and we are going to see better outcomes. Finally, go with the flow. All of this structure, backwards planning, prevention, being proactive is great, not only in a school system, but in your life. Ultimately, you have to go with the flow and understand that you can't control everything. Mistakes are going to happen, bad things are going to happen, and you just continue to maintain that positive outlook and take it one day at a time. From 2020 on, when flow was my word of the year, I've continued to go with it because you can have the most perfectly designed lesson plan, the most perfect path laid out for your life, and in a brief second, that can all change. And you've got to go with the flow and continue on. If you like this content, be sure and listen to the full podcast episode where I talk about what I learned about living from death. If you have questions, send them to info@midlifecatalyst.net. I'm Amanda Yance. Thank you for joining this fast break.